This is TWiT.
Tim Cook, this apparently took place back during the education event, but it didn't surface until recently. He was interviewed again, and he once again repeated that macOS and iOS are separate things. That he doesn't foresee, and this is a standard Apple line, that they believe that macOS is better suited for desktop computers and laptops, and iOS is better suited for mobile devices, and they don't foresee a hybrid of those operating systems. And I don't think that I think one of the things that happens with Apple is they speak very candidly, in my experience. What they say is exactly what they mean. It doesn't mean that their opinions don't change. They also have a really big history of changing their opinions over time. But I think when they do speak, they're candid about these kinds of things, and this is legitimately what they think. And that doesn't mean that iOS won't become more capable over time, or that macOS won't become more approachable over time, and each of them take on characteristics of the other. But I think it's sort of like that Steve Jobs thing, where iOS is going to stay being the car and macOS is going to stay being the truck, and maybe someday something will replace both of them. But Andy, I think this still goes into the fears that iOS is just going to run rampant across the entire line one day.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that Apple is one of the most honest companies that I've ever spoken to, or even when reading conversations they have with other people, then seeing what turns out. They really, if they feel as though the only thing they can say is deceptive or unhelpful, they simply don't say anything. But the problem there is that sometimes what they are saying within Cupertino, we assume it means something else entirely.
Yes.
So it's possible that Tim there was saying that no, the Mac is unique and incredibly valuable. iOS is incredibly unique and valuable. We're building our future on both of those things. We will always have a Mac. And the Mac will always be enhanced by iOS features, and iOS will always be enhanced by Mac features. He could also be saying that, behind closed doors, they could also be saying that we feel as though iOS is our operating system and hardware platform for consumers, and the Mac is our hardware platform and hardware system for professionals. So this could also reflect, no, we have no need to make the Mac more user friendly, because we have no intention of selling Macs to people who want like simple taskers in the next 5 years. We're going to be trying to sell them whatever the version of the iPad is going to be in 3 or 4 years. So it's still, I'm still a little bit worried. There's complete silence about what happens to the Mac Mini, what happens to the plain iMac, what happens to consumer Macs. It's so silent that I don't believe that there is any doom indicated, but it's not a good sign. I have not seen the sort of whereas they've gone to great lengths over the past year to make sure that pro users don't switch to anything else, because hey, look, we're building machines exactly for you. We know what you want, or excuse me, we're trying to learn what you want and trying to build you something that you need. They haven't been saying the same things about for consumers, and nor have they been introducing hardware that makes me confident that they are convinced that they're committed to consumer Macs.